say more Kenyans made oral and physical submissions during Friday's public participation forum by the Senate's Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights Committee at the KICC.
I want to start by saying that I reject in totality anything concerning extension of term limits of our honorable leaders in this country.
Senator Chergay, oh, he's out. Oh, sorry, I looked this side. No weapon that the legislatures of this country want to overburden the people of Kenya shall prosper under the watch of Gen Z.
Basically 2 years imefanya watu wamekuwa na kiburi, and we have started discussing the matters of divisive in our country. What about 7 years? I totally disagree with 7 years. Let it remain 5 years at it is. So delete that part completely. Msiwache kitu yote.
Tuna haja gani na watu 350 kazi yao ni kuongeza? Sisi wacha muda, hata nataka tuwapunguze nyinyi. Wacheni ati mnataka kuongeza muda. Tunataka tupunguze hata idadi yenu. Hatuna pesa kuwalipa Sheikh.
I'm forced to think that these amendments are being done just for political self-interest and not in public interest. And therefore my recommendation, and I will say it very strongly, expunge, delete. We are not interested as the public, the citizens of this nation, for extension of term limits. It is not in our interest.
Do we elect members who are so heavy to deliver that they can't do it in 4 years, that they need 7 years to do a development? Or you want 5 years to eat and 2 years to come and do development? 4 years is enough for an elected leader who is serious with the work that they are doing to do tangible economic development in any other jurisdiction.
And of course, that is quite the controversial bill that has seen itself on the floor of the Senate. Well, there's still a lot of process to go before it can actually, be an act. And so we'll be looking tabs, or keeping tabs actually, with, the various sentiments that will come in concerning that. Now, impeached Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has suffered another blow after the High Court declined application to have a 3-judge bench recuse themselves from hearing and determining the cases filed challenging the swearing-in of Professor Kithure Kindiki as the new office holder. In the ruling read by Justice Eric Ogola, the judges stated that they based their judgment on 4 grounds. 1, the concept of recusal in line with the Constitution, impartiality as a ground for recusal, whether the applications met the required threshold for bias, and whether the applications were merited. According to Justice Ogola, the application did not meet the set criteria and was hence disallowed.
Consequently, the following orders do hereby issue. 1, the applications for recusals are hereby disallowed. 2, the petitioners are hereby granted leave to file and serve amended petitions, if need be, within 5 days of this order. The respondents likewise are granted leave to file and serve amended responses, if need be, within 5 days of service in B above. B, in view of the nature of the pending applications for conservatory orders and those seeking to discharge, review, and set aside the conservatory orders in cohort 2 petitions, we hereby direct as follows. The applications seeking to discharge, review, and set aside the conservatory orders shall be deemed as responses to the applications for conservatory orders. Parties are at liberty to file and serve any responses and or further responses to either of the applications together with skeleton submissions within 2 days of this order. The said applications in one above are hereby fixed for hearing on 29th of October 2024 at 10 a.m. in this court. Leave to appeal is hereby granted, typed proceedings and certified copies of this ruling to be availed to parties at cost or as the case may be. The directions herein shall be forthwith uploaded in the court tracking system. Those are the orders of this court.
Jambo ambalo hatujui sababu hawajatupa ule uamuzi. Reason, sababu majaji hueleza sababu zao za kufikia uamuzi. Majaji wametuchenga kwa sababu wameeleza kwa sekundi 3 kwamba hawatajitoa. Lakini ndani yake wamesema kwamba watazingatia zile Bangalore rules ambazo zinasema kwamba majaji hawatatishwa, hawataegemea upande wote na watasimama licha ya kuwa wanaambiwa yale wanayoyafanya si mazuri.
Hundreds of job seekers flocked to the Kenyatta International Convention Center and the Kabete National Polytechnic for job interviews for positions in Qatar following an announcement by the Ministry of Labor. The interviews, held in partnership with a Qatari employer, attracted hopeful applicants in both the hospitality and service industry, as well as the construction and technical sectors. This initiative is part of the ministry's ongoing efforts to expand job opportunities abroad for Kenyans, and Mutua assured that the recruitment process will follow fair employment practices and that the ministry has thoroughly vetted the Qatari partner to uphold these standards.
Front office, cleaner, nurse, construction, electrician, plumber, electrician.
Sasa tangu nimekuja hapa, hii interview imekuwa na changamoto sana. Juu sasa ukiangalia wale watu wamefulika hapa ni wengi na vyenye ile process wanatumia ni dogo. Sasa ningeshukuru kitu ya kwanza kwa sababu serikali imetufikiria vizuri sana, lakini ningetaka kujua kitu moja. Katika Kenya na Saudi ama Qatar wako na uhusiano gani? Juu sasa unaweza ambiwa mshahara hapa tuseme ni 1000. 1000 ni kaa pesa ya Kenya 30,000. Na hiyo 30,000 hapa unaweza kuwa unaipata. So wanafaa waongelee mshahara kaa nchi zingine. Na watu kaa Nigeria na Philippines na Wahindi wote wamefurika huko kwa sababu basi yao huwa inawaangalia. Na ile yani Kenya ikipeleka watu pale inafaa kuwa na uhusiano, inawalipa vizuri. Kwa sababu huwezi toka hapa na hauna pesa. Ile pesa unapata hapa ni kidogo na uende pale upate kidogo, hakuna kitu unafanya. Kitu ya pili, tunataka kujua tukifika pale serikali itakuwa inafuatilia Wakenya wake na kuangalia vyenye wako. Mtu akienda pale ukute ile kazi ulikuwa unataka sio hiyo, itakuaje? Juu kuna wakati mnaenda mnapelekwa pale ukaa umeenda kama dereva unakuta umepewa kazi ya labor, kazi ambayo hujawahi fanya. Moto ile mmekuwa ya madereva hapa dereva mwenye anafanya interview amekuwa na ukari mwingi. Juu hata ile gari hata tumepewa si ya kwenda kaa Qatar, ni ile ya Kenya. So na pale tutakuta gari nyingine. Tungetaka walete gari za left hand ndio watu watakuta huko.
A high court in Nairobi has halted the deal between the Kenya Electricity Transmission Company KETRACO and Adani Energy Solutions, a subsidiary of Indian conglomerate Adani Group. The deal, signed on October 11th and valued at about 95.68 billion shillings, involves the Indian company developing, financing, constructing, and operating critical transmission lines and substations across the country. The development comes just 2 days after the Law Society of Kenya moved to court seeking conservatory orders pending hearing and determination of the case. In the petition certified as urgent, LSK described the agreement as a quote-unquote constitutional sham tainted with secrecy and lacking the principles of integrity. LSK further stated that the government did not conduct meaningful public participation on the same, while also arguing that the matter is of great public concern. In his ruling, High Court Justice Bahati Mwamuye decreed that LSK's petition had met the legal threshold for the court to grant conservatory orders halting the KETRACO Adani deal. Elsewhere, President William Ruto has urged the nation and political leaders to desist from engaging in tribal and divisive politics, even as the impeachment case against Rigathi Gachagua continues at the High Court. The head of state was speaking in Turkana County during the Tobongu Lore Cultural Festival as he seemingly directed his address at his friend now turned foe Gachagua. President William Ruto is yet to directly address the impeachment issue that continues to be a center of conversation in the country.
Mimi niliamua ya kwamba hatutaki Kenya ya ubaguzi. Hatutaki Kenya ya migawanyiko. Tunataka tuunganishe taifa letu la Kenya. Mimi nataka niwaulize nyinyi watu wa Turkana. Sawa sawa? Mimi niliamua nikasema nitatengeneza serikali ya kuunganisha Wakenya wote. Na nimechukua mpaka na mawaziri kutoka sehemu ya upinzani. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Mimi nauliza nyinyi watu wa hapa Turkana. Munasema munataka tuunganishe Kenya ama munataka tutenganishe? Tuunganishe ama tutenganishe? Hebu nione wala wanasema tuunganishe. Kwa hivyo, tumesema hatutaki siasa ya ukabila. Hatutaki siasa ya migawanyiko. Hatutaki siasa ya ubaguzi. Tunataka tuungane kama watu wa taifa moja, taifa letu la Kenya. Na nimesema kwa vyovyote, mbele na nyuma, kulia na kushoto, nitafanya bidii kuunganisha wananchi wote wa taifa letu la Kenya. Ndio nguvu yetu na mipango yetu tuelekeze kwa kuhakikisha ya kwamba tunazalisha uchumi, tunazalisha nafasi za kazi, tunaondoa njaa, tunahakikisha ya kwamba vijana wetu wako na ajira ili Kenya iweze kupiga hatua ya kwenda mbele.
University students have been urged to give their views regarding the new higher education funding model when the committee established by President William Ruto to review the model begins public participation on the same. Speaking during Machakos University 9th graduation ceremony, Principal Secretary Higher Education and Research Dr. Beatrice Nyangala, who represented the Cabinet Secretary for Education, said the committee set up by the President will soon be conducting town hall meetings for public participation on the model and welcome students to give their views. She said the government was committed to making university funding better to ensure no deserving student was left out in their allocations.
In this financial year, the resources increased from the previous 45 billion to 82 billion, which was almost doubling the budget for the State Department, and just demonstrating how much the government is committed to supporting universities to provide quality education. Of course, there is the issue of the new funding model, which many of you have expressed some concerns, and you are aware that our President, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, appointed a national committee. And this committee is reviewing the model so that it serves you. It meets families and students at their level of need. Because the aim really is to open access for all students, irrespective of their socio-economic backgrounds, to any program, irrespective of its choice. We shall be moving around to collect your views. Please feel free to attend the town halls and share your views so that you can help us to serve you better.
Our future plans include strengthening partnerships with the university to promote research initiatives that address local challenges and boost community development. We aim to create more opportunities for collaboration between academia and industry, ensuring that our students not only excel in their studies, but are also prepared to contribute to sustainable development within our county.
Now, still in the education sector, as candidates in both primary and secondary schools prepare for their Kenya Primary School Education Assessment and the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education KCSE respectively, private school proprietors have stated that they are well prepared for KPSEA this year, feeling more confident than ever. Schools say they are highly prepared for the exams, expressing support for the CBC curriculum.
We are going to have 489 examination centers, that is both public and private examination assessment centers. These include 384 public assessment centers and 105 private assessment centers. Our candidature, we have 6,567 boys who are going to do KPSEA, and 6,273, totaling to 12,843 who are going to do a KPSEA assessment distributed among the assessment centers that I've talked about in Embu County. We have actually received assessment materials for KPSEA, and they are distributed in the 10 containers. So the county has 10 containers. This is where our assessments have been stored. For security, we have made arrangements on how the assessment materials for KPSEA will be distributed in the 10 assessment centers and escorted to the assessment centers, that is assessment schools.
Children have developed a lot of confidence amongst themselves. They are also running amongst themselves. They are learning to run. They are collaborating very, very well. They are collaborating. They have self-efficacy. They are well prepared. To me, I would say this system is giving children a lot of confidence amongst themselves. They are becoming very responsible. They are children who appear to be goal-oriented, and they are growing along that line of knowing, and they are also digital literacy. They have known computers. They are learning to be very responsible, and to me, I would say the issue of fitting in future, where there will be competence for job, our peoples will be thoroughly equipped.
KANU Party leader Gideon Moi has been appointed as the chairperson of the Commonwealth expert team to observe the upcoming general elections in Botswana, slated for October 30th, 2024. Moi will lead a distinguished group of 5 other eminent persons drawn from across the Commonwealth with expertise in politics, elections, media, and civil society. During their mission in Botswana, the team will engage with crucial electoral stakeholders, including the electoral management body, political parties, civil society organizations, media representatives, the diplomatic community, and other international and domestic observers. The scope of the observation will include the evaluation of pre-election preparatory activities in different provinces across the country, as well as monitoring of the election day procedures, such as the opening, ballot casting, closing, counting, and the transmission and tabulation of results. The county government of Mombasa is formulating a raft of legal frameworks to improve the ease of doing business in the port city, and the county executive committee member, CEC for Trade, Tourism and Culture, Mohamed Osman, says they plan to sign off a memorandum of understanding with the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry to deepen their collaboration. The CEC stated that public participation on the Market Management and Street Vendors Bill has been concluded and awaits enactment in the County Assembly. The Department of Trade will provide linkages to financial institutions for the vendors to be recognized and be able to access loans.
From last year, you've seen our OSR, on-source revenue, moved from 3.5 billion to 4.4 billion. That's a big stride, and that's all because we're able to interact and work with the business partners who are in Mombasa. So in that accord, as a CC for Trade, there are a lot of things we are doing. I'm putting up a legal framework to come up with the bills which can able to help the business people.
Basically, we just bringing together the business community to open up, talk, have a candid conversation on what is going on around Mombasa. We're also emphasizing on, embracing partnerships in their business journeys.
We want more Kenyans to visit Uganda. We want more Ugandan products to come to Kenya, but we also want Kenyan investors to go and invest in it.
The Meru High Court has sentenced a man to 30 years in prison for the murder of Elizabeth Ekaru, a human rights activist from Isiolo. Patrick Nawit stabbed the victim Ekaru 5 times in a brutal attack that shocked her community. Judge Edward Murithi expressed sympathy for Ekaru's family and highlighted witness testimonies that detailed the violence of the assault. He condemned the perpetrator's actions as unnecessary and emphasized the need for accountability.
This court must, in any small way, communicate to the accused that sexual and gender-based violence has no place in civilized world. The court considers that a sentence of imprisonment for a period of 30 years, which ensures the accused is in custody for deterrence, reformation, and community protection objectives for a period of not less than 20 years, is appropriate. Accordingly, for the reasons set out above, having convicted for the accused for the offense of murder, contrary to section 203 as read with 204 of the Penal Code, the court now sentences you, offender, to imprisonment for a period of 30 years.
Leo ni sikukuu ambayo at least tumeona justice imekuwa delivered. At least mwenda zake atafeel ya kwamba aloacha nyuma wameweza kusimama na haki yake inaweza kupatikana. Miaka 30 ni ndogo, at least ataweza kutembelewa na watu wake katika gereza. Lakini Elizabeth ambaye ameacha watoto yatima na hawana baba na mama, at least itakuwa ina console kiasi kuliko vile ingekuwa kama hajaweza kuhukumiwa. Hii itakuwa ni funzo kwa wale ambao wamezoea kuchukua hatua kwa mikono yao. At least watajua kwamba kuna nchi ina sheria na kuna njia mingi za kutatua mizozo.
Well, to sports, the Harambee Stars have today departed for South Sudan ahead of their first leg 2024 African Nations Championship CHAN Sekafa qualifier match. The match is scheduled to be played on Sunday, October 27th at Juba International Stadium with kickoff at 3 p.m. East African time. The return leg will take place on Sunday, November 3rd, 2024 at 4 p.m. East African time at the Mandela National Stadium in Uganda. Midfielder Kenneth Muguna has been ruled out of the squad after failing a late fitness test. He has been replaced by Clifford Otieno of Nairobi City Stars, who joins the travelling squad. Right, so ladies and gents, that is where we wrap it up tonight. Thank you very much for watching EBN Weekend Edition. I hope that you're up to speed with what is making headlines across the country. We'll be keeping tabs with various news stories as well, and we'll be updating you about them in our subsequent bulletins. Well, thank you for choosing us, and to the team that has made this bulletin a success as well, asante sana. Have yourself a wonderful evening and a blessed weekend ahead. My name is Cynthia Nanjala.